Dear parents, thank you for taking time to attend this parents workshop. This is Mr. Eugene Loh speaking. I'll be sharing with you how we nurture critical and inventive thinking in our students. Here is the overview for today's sharing. Let's begin with understanding what is critical and inventive thinking. In our school, we call it CIT in short. To help our students thrive in the future, the Ministry of Education has defined a set of 21st century competencies so that we know our students are well equipped to handle the challenges in the future. If you look at the framework before you, there are several layers. Allow me very quickly to walk you through it. At the heart of our framework will be the values. We want our students to be anchored in sound values, and so they grow up and become right citizens and right people. The pink layer will be a set of social emotional competencies so that our students are able to work well with themselves and with others. The outer layer, the orange layer, will be the 21st century competencies, and there are 3 of them. For the purpose of today's sharing, I will be focusing very much on the critical and inventive thinking. In nurturing CIT, this is what we hope to achieve. To be future ready, our young need to be able to think critically, assess options, and make sound decisions. They should have a desire to learn, explore, and be prepared to think out of the box. They should not be afraid to make mistakes and face challenges that may at first appear daunting. If we succeed in developing critical and inventive thinking in our students, we should see students demonstrate 4 competencies, as you see before you. The words are a little small, so please allow me to zoom in the next slide. These are the 4 competency domains that add up to form critical and inventive thinking. Sound reasoning and decision making, reflective thinking, curiosity and creativity, and managing complexities and ambiguities. These are life skills taught through subjects. Right now, you may be wondering, how is Punggol View Primary School supporting your child's development of CIT? With this in mind, the school has laid out a 3-year plan to chart a path so that we can introduce and develop such thinking skills in all our students. To summarize the 3-year plan that you saw just now, this is what we are trying to achieve in Punggol View Primary School. Right now, we are looking at strengthening the quality of thinking by helping our students think well. We do so by teaching the children through the revised Bloom's taxonomy, which you will find out a bit more later on. Please allow me to demonstrate the different ways of thinking with an example about lemons.
Bloom's taxonomy is a toolbox that teachers or students can use to classify and organize learning objectives. Its most popular version is based on the cognitive domain and assumes that learning should be structured from easy to difficult in the following 6 steps. 1. Remember. 2. Understand. 3. Apply. 4. Analyze. 5. Evaluate. 6. Create. On the first level, we learn to remember. There is just rote memorization and recollection of facts without much understanding. For example, if we learn about lemons, we want to remember the name, shape, color, size, and that they are sour. Once we memorize these essentially meaningless facts, we move to the second level of learning. On level 2, we learn to understand. We begin to decode information and learn that a lemon is yellow when it's ripe to eat, and if we take a bite, that it's really super sour. We also understand that lemons love sunshine and that they contain lots of vitamin C, which is a great natural antioxidant that keeps us healthy. Now, as we really understand a lemon, we can work with it. On the third level, we apply what we know. We've understood that while lemons are sour, they are also a great provider of vitamin C. To apply this knowledge in a meaningful way, we could boil a lemon into hot water and add some honey. Then serve this hot lemon to our sick sister who's in need of treatment. On the fourth level, we learn to analyze. This involves examining and breaking down information into components, determining how the parts relate to one another, and finding evidence to support generalizations. We study the lemon flesh, examine the skin, and look at levels of vitamins. We conclude that we can eat everything inside, while the skin tastes bitter and contains traces of toxic pesticides. It ought not to be consumed. Now we are ready to evaluate. We analyze, critique, and compare. To evaluate our lemon as a good source of vitamins, we compare it to other sources, such as oranges and supplements. We look at the following properties: vitamin levels, affordability, taste, and packaging waste. If we evaluate our thoughts critically and without bias, we learn where the lemons score high and where others score higher. Now, after we have learned, understood, applied, analyzed, and evaluated, we are ready to create. As we now really understand lemons, also in comparison to similar things, we can formulate a plan to create our own natural lemonade. It's now easy to come up with a cute shop design, a good name, and a good slogan: natural, healthy, yummy.
Parents, as you have seen from the video before, we can think about a lemon in different ways. Similarly, where learning is concerned, students need to know the kind of thinking required for them to learn a particular set of material or skills. With this in mind, we have actually introduced the revised Bloom's taxonomy to the students. From the video before, you see that there are 6 thinking skills: remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. All of the skills here are linked with one another and they build upon one another. To help our students, our teachers plan their lessons and questions using these skills as well. Parents, as you're listening to the content of today's workshop, feel free to pause and reflect. Which thinking skill will be most useful for your child to learn whatever you're being introduced to? Finally, how can you support your child in developing critical and inventive thinking? Here are some ways you can support your child's thinking. The first, ensure your child receives sufficient practice to strengthen his or her memory. For example, for things like spelling, grammar rules, the times table, as well as scientific facts. A child who is able to remember these things are more likely to be able to understand and apply them subsequently. As you have seen from the revised Bloom's taxonomy, remembering is the first and the most basic of thinking skills. Sufficient practice will allow your child to recall them easily. Second, model your thinking. Students learn from the adults around them. So if you take time to explain your thinking process to your child gets to see how thinking is done by an adult and can learn from you. The third, ask your child to explain and elaborate his or her thinking. Instead of focusing on the answer and whether the answer is correct or wrong, ask your child further to explain and elaborate. The explaining and the elaborating helps your child to practice thinking skills. And finally, thinking can be difficult. So, if your child gets an answer wrong, praise the effort and ask them to elaborate their thinking so that you are able to identify why the wrong answer. If a child gets the correct answer, praise the effort in thinking and ask your child to explain and elaborate so that your child is able to explain, elaborate, and practice the thinking skills required. With that, I thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation, and I wish you a fruitful Parents Workshop.